This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombernardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't even worry about it, sister. Right?
Right.
That's all I have to say. I was just telling speaking of women who don't speak clearly, like Amy, just kidding. God, I haven't seen Amy in a long time. Where the hell did she go?
She's burning around the My Talk 107.
Oh, that's true.
Offices. Yeah, she's been busy lately. I know.
Yeah, you go, well, when you're going to throw all the heat on Brittany, try to have her carry her, wouldn't you be terrified? I mean, let's be honest.
I think that's why it's been such a hassle right now.
Has Brittany reached out to you guys at all? Because I don't want to.
Yeah, I talked to her.
Oh, you did?
Friday.
Okay.
Yep. So she's going to be on Wednesday,
the 19th.
The 19th. Wonderful.
So,
is she going to bring the other woman with her?
I don't think so.
Why not?
She said there's some scheduling conflicts, and the other lady's big time. I think she's got like TV that she's on or something.
She's doing her Fox 9 gig
there
through like the end of July, so she'll be
Fox 9. Who the hell would want to work there anyway?
That's why she's leaving.
Nut house. They treated Paso like shit over there. It was terrible. And the woman who runs the place, we were at a funeral. Well, it was Ron Rosenbaum's funeral.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was at his funeral, and this woman walks up and introduces herself. She sticks her hand out. I'm shaking her hand. I had never met her.
Mm-hmm.
It was her. So I introduced myself. You would have thought that my hand was on fire. Apparently, the woman hates my guts. I don't know what the hell I ever did to her. Well, that's the whole problem with the too far right and the too far left. If you get too far, then you hate everybody.
Right.
Why do you want to live like that? Makes no sense. So I was just telling these guys before we popped on that I met a young woman over the weekend. She's probably about 20 years old, something like that. She's a friend of mine's daughter, actually. And she introduced herself, and I said, "I'm Tom." She goes, "I'm Kennedy." I said, "Your name is Kennedy?" She goes, No, it's Kennedy." I said, "Yeah, Kennedy." She said, "No, it's Kennedy, Kennedy." Why do some people always put an at the end of everything?
It's that vocal fry, I think is what it's called. That it's kind of like that Valley Girl. Some people just do it without realizing they're doing it.
I don't think she knows she does it.
It gets like they work it so far into like their normal, the way they speak. And like if you were to go abroad, maybe you're going to pick up some, like if you go to England for a month or whatever, you might pick up, start saying instead of like buddy or friend, like mate or lad or one of those things. You might just kind of work your way in and you won't think about it. It's second nature, where she's going to have to at some point, and I'm sure she will, like be like, I can't add that was really hard to do. I don't know how you start that, but yeah, Kennedy is going to have to drop it to Kennedy.
When I do the commercial, I'm going to go, Livy, what do you think? We could do that.
Was it like a whiny voice too, or was it just a normal adding the age?
I understand what you're saying.
Like Adrian was saying, the Valley Girl, like where it was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna go, like where there's like a whiny.
Grab some of those sun-made raisins.
Raisins. My favorite of all time though is Noah. It's 2 letters. No, it's not Noah. Whatever. Blow it out your ass, sister. Not her. Some other sister.
Not Kennedy.
Man seriously injured by shrapnel after tannerite target explosion in Benton County. How far away from the target? Now, if the target blew back at the guy and seriously injured him, how far away was he from the target?
They said they were about 150 feet.
And it blew back that far?
Yeah, they put holy hell. Looks like there are 12 people observing someone shooting a rifle at a tannerite, and they put like a metal barrel over the top, and yeah, that was enough to blow some of it back. So
is that a good idea?
I always feel like, is there really a safe distance to shoot like something that's going to explode?
Good point. That's a good point.
But whatever.
Yeah. No, you're making a very good point. No question about it. Okay, this one might be good. I don't know what it says, but just the headline alone is enough for me. Protest held outside controversial Sequest Aquarium. Why is there a controversial Sequest Aquarium?
So that's the Minnesota, or I think they might be national, but there's 2 of them, I think, in Minnesota. And their like treatment of animals in the aquarium has been come into question a lot, like Blackfish when for SeaWorld with the orcas. So people are freaking out because they're not treating their animals
just like smacking the fish around, like smacking the trout, or what?
I guess because Sequest
smacking trout.
Sequest doesn't have like huge animals. It's mostly just like small fish, I guess, and sharks. But
okay,
we'll see.
Oh, here we go. This comes amid persistent allegations of animal neglect at the aquarium. An animal rights group staged a protest Saturday outside Sequest, an aquarium and petting zoo at Roseville's Rosedale Center. With more demonstrations planned in the coming months, Animal Rights Coalition based in Minneapolis has launched a campaign it calls Sink Sequest Roseville. Oh, Jen, that was clever.
I like it.
Just a few moments after a KSTP report detailed allegations of neglect and unsafe conditions for the animals as well as people, both at Roseville locations and several others throughout the country. Calling for closure of Sequest Roseville, protesters spoke to the station during the afternoon demonstration, with at least one identifying themselves as a former Sequest employer. Ooh, they got a lot of signs. Google Vince Covino, I guess it would be. Cruelty, warning risk of injury at Sequest. Don't be captivated by captivity. Show the death records. They keep death records of fish.
I think they need to for the sake of like compliance with animal.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like, how'd they die? Was because of was it an old fish or did we just not feed it? It's one of those type of things.
Yeah, it could be. Sequest has long been in the crosshairs of animal advocacy organizations like PETA, which says the pet. And by the way, why isn't it PETA? Should be PETA if it's about animals, don't you think?
I think
they're setting themselves up for some jokes if it's PETA.
Yep.
Oh, hey, I was looking for the PETA file. You know where it is? Oh, here I found it. I got the PETA file. Anyway, yeah, you're right. It's got to be PETA. You're 100% right. Although in England, they'd think your name was Peter.
PETA.
PETA, what are you doing, PETA? Says the business has been plagued by animal welfare issues, animal deaths, legal violations, and injuries to employees and the public from direct contact with animals. So there you go. One thing I'm very, very glad of, I guess, that's not the kind of place I'd ever go anyway.
No.
When's the last time you guys have been to an aquarium?
Long time.
I was gonna say,
yeah, a really long time. Or like even just the zoo.
You've seen one fish, you've seen them all.
Yeah, and it sounds like they were past due on a bunch of vaccinations, and I guess they have like the petting zoo portion where you can touch fish, birds, potbelly pigs, snakes, wallabies, sloths, and otters.
Well, this sounds like the most wild
random
aquarium I've ever heard in my life.
That's a hell of an aquarium right there. Well, I told you one of the worst days of my life, the old Como Park Zoo, back when I was probably 20 years old. Bobby Knotts and I went. Bobby, God bless, he's dead now, unfortunately. Bobby, we love you, pal. But we go to the zoo at Como Park, and everybody's gathered around Monkey Island. Monkey Island was shut down shortly after this, so it wasn't around. There was a big circular sealed-in pond, and it had a little mountain in it, and the monkeys would all be in there. So everybody's gathered around looking down in, and I'm like, what the hell is that all about? Whatever. So I gotta stand up and do this because this is exactly how it looked. I'll do this right here. Okay, so we look down. There's a monkey face down in the water. Oh, God.
No.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen. That poor little monkey's like floating along upside down. Oh, Jesus. That was nasty. Well, I mean, look, that was about 55 years ago, and I'm still tortured by the thought.
Oh, yeah. I feel like everybody has that one traumatic zoo story, whether it's like when I remember being a little kid, we were standing in like, I think it was at Como Zoo as well. And I have the glass enclosure and we're looking at, I think it was like the gorillas or something. And over to my right, I hear a bunch of people. And this guy is walking with what had to be the world's largest snake that I had ever seen at that point. And I was just gone. Like, I just remember I ran out, leave my family behind.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know if you guys are going to survive this snake attack that's going on there right now, but I'm out.
So did you have to push your mother out of the way to get away?
I mean, I didn't in that situation, but I would have. You would have 100% would.
No question. All right. Speaking of monkeys, Phil will be up next, right? I think.
10 out of 10 segue.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. K&L Surplus and Ammo's in Lina Lakes. It's my choice for firearms and ammunition. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business. As a matter of fact, I guarantee you Jim would not shoot at an exploding barrel.
No.
I guarantee it. I know Jim well enough that he wouldn't do that. He's most knowledgeable, one of the most knowledgeable people in the business, and is great at getting you into the right firearm for your needs. K&L Surplus and Ammo now carries Benelli shotguns that offer enhanced performance and amazing reliability for uses ranging from waterfowl hunting to skeet shooting and more. I highly encourage you to stop in to talk with Jim and the rest of the K&L Surplus crew. Between their superior knowledge of firearms, friendly customer service, which is very important, obviously, overall stock and fair pricing. Yes, I did say fair pricing, by the way. I can't imagine a better location to purchase your next firearm. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lana Lakes and open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone at 763-757-2614, or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you for having an overstock, clearance, and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets just arrived and will not last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98, and take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses, mattress toppers. This is very important. It's 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Matter of fact, everything's on sale. From the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels, they do actually absorb, which for me is kind of important with a kitchen towel. You have dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings 8 to 9:30 or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Boy, did those twins come storming back yesterday after a horrendous week.
What a way to salvage the week, Tom. Big way to salvage the road trip with that big win against Pittsburgh yesterday.
I love the fact that even though they won, it still took 10 innings.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the private jets are warmed up, the chartered planes are warmed up. You guys, you can't make it happen in 9. You know what's funny? So we do our State of the Twins discussion every Monday, and I was just, before I hopped on, doing some digging and some research for some of the things we're going to talk about today. It is amazing how feeble this Twins lineup is right now. So they have, I mean, they have like 6 unplayable bats right now. I feel like in there, I don't know if they need to call someone up from the minors or make a trade, but like Alex Kirilloff, for instance, he came out, he was super hot for the first 2 weeks of the season. Alex Kirilloff has 2 multi-hit games all year now, and we're sitting here on June 10th. Kyle Farmer has 17 hits all season.
Whoops.
It's June 10th. What are we doing?
Let's send some people down, shall we? What do you say? That we're 2 months into the season, this is what we get?
Yeah, and they're still above 500. They are still in the mix for a wild card spot. But, it doesn't look like a team that's going to be, unless they have a couple major tweaks here and there, that's going to be contending for a trophy in October.
So they just don't spend the money that needs to be spent to get good players. Is that what we're saying?
Well, that was a huge part of the offseason when ownership comes out. And, so that's the timing of it, too. And we talked about this at the time, but you win your first playoff series in 20 years. You snap an 0-18 playoff game losing streak. Mm-hmm. Fans pouring into the ballpark, casual fans catching Twins fever. the season comes to an end, but it's a lot of feel-good vibes. Royce Lewis and Carlos Correa. What can we add to this collection that just went to the second round of the playoffs? And the first headline a week and a half after the season basically was Twins ownership to cut payroll $25 to $30 million.
Oh, God. What is that a Minnesota thing, or are there a lot of teams like that?
Well, I mean, it's a very uniquely Minnesota thing in that the Twins, the Twins agree. Well, first of all, the Twins are sort of stuck in the middle tier of middle to bottom tier of major league revenue. So there's that reality. But the Twins decided before the season, we're going to, instead of coming up with a solution and maybe even working on a long-term solution to get as many fans to be able to watch baseball games on TV as possible.
Yep.
We're going to take the check from Diamond Sports Group, Bally Sports North, for one more season because it's the easiest path. They're going to write us a check. But nowhere was it reported and nowhere was it made public that on May 1st, Bally Sports North's agreement with Comcast Xfinity expired. So if you have Comcast Xfinity or YouTube TV or Hulu Live or Dish, all these other platforms, you haven't been able to watch a Twins game on TV in 6 weeks. So they cashed a check, but nobody can watch the games on TV, and they obviously didn't add the $25-30 million back to the payroll. So it's a really bad look for the Twins right now as they sit here and scuffle their way through June.
Is this because we're in the third generation of ownership of this family? Is that part of it?
I love that question because I've always thought, and it's not this way with every business, certainly, but how can you, if you are the bootstrap founder of a company and you are clawing your way to make your family, millions, billions of dollars, whatever it is, can you have that same passion and desire multiple generations later? I don't know that you do all the time. I mean, I guess we'd have to ask Joe Pohlad. Does Joe Pohlad desperately want to win a World Series? Like Carl Pohlad. People rip Carl Pohlad, but Carl Pohlad was the owner of 2 World Series teams back in 1987 and 91.
Yep.
Does Joe Pohlad want to win a World Series? Would he take a loss for multiple? Would he take a $50 million loss on a team, overpaying on payroll to win a World Series? I don't know if we know the answer to that.
So how many billion is his family worth now?
Is it 4?
I think it's $4 billion.
4 to 5.
You need $50 million for me to kick your ass in the World Series? You got it. Let's go. Right?
Yeah, they definitely need. If they want to win a World Series this year, minimum they need to trade for a high-end bat that's probably going to cost them maybe $10 to $15 million in prorated salary. So not even really a bank-breaking amount of money. But I don't know. At this point, they've got so many good young prospects that are on the way out. I wonder if you're better off just being patient and then letting a couple of these kids who are 22, 23 come up for 2024, 25. Brooks Lee is at AAA right now. Walker Kessler is their best prospect. Maybe the window is 2025, 26, 27, but it doesn't really make Twins fans feel good about this year's product.
Yeah, I'd be kind of pissed off if I were like 90 years old. Don't worry, we're going to win in 3 more years. Yeah, great. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Exactly. Just one before I die, as we say for the Vikings.
Yeah, well, we do say that for the Vikings. Yeah. Is there a team out there like the Twins in football that just won't spend the money to win?
In baseball?
No, in football.
In football? No, because football is a controlled financial environment. In football and in basketball is a little more loosey-goosey because you can actually, I'm going to go deep into the financial weeds here, but in football, every team has a hard ceiling salary cap and a floor. So every team, so that the players get the amount of money that they have collectively bargained. In the NFL, every team spends between here and here. In the NBA, there's a floor and there's a soft salary cap, and you can pay your own players and go above the salary cap, which the Timberwolves have one of the highest payrolls in the league. So I guess credit to Glenn Taylor and Mark Laurie and Alex Rodriguez. But in baseball, every team is essentially, there is no salary cap, which most people think, oh, that means that you can just spend whatever you want.
Right.
But these are all business owners. They didn't become billionaires by lighting, $50, $100 million on fire. They're all, the salary cap in baseball is every owner's willingness or not to take a loss on their business. And newsflash, they don't want to. So
yeah, it's kind of hard to believe, actually, But hey, I just got a text message. There's a question for you. Well, it's a statement. They want to know if it's true. They sent me an email that says, "Didn't Phil date Lucy Goosey in high school?" I don't know. What's the answer?
Probably. Yeah. Probably college, actually.
Oh, it was college. Okay. Lucy Goosey in college. It'd be kind of tough if your girlfriend's nickname was, it'd be tough if your name was Lucy Goosey. That'd be tough.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
They definitely didn't call me Lucy Goosey in high school. I'll tell you that.
No, I'm right there shoulder to
I was
shoulder.
playing with wrestling action figures, probably watching Monday Night Raw, 9th grade.
Honest to God, and I'm very serious. I don't think I've ever talked about this before, but growing up very poor and all the rest of it, I did not have sex for the first time until I was 22 years old to make sure I wasn't going to be in that neighborhood for the rest of my life.
Wow, what a responsible guy.
I was very responsible there because everybody else is banging the piss out of everybody else, and they're all getting married at like 17 years old. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing this.
And imagine a young Studley Tom Barnard, all of the times he had to turn down the opportunity.
Oh, they were beating on the door. There's no question about it. I told you about the one time I called a young girl. She was very, very pretty. And I said, would you like to go out on to dinner and a movie some night? And she said, well, let's be honest. I'm not really your type. Oh, okay. Thanks a lot there, sister.
When I was in college sometime around probably 21, 22 years old, and I was dating someone, it wasn't all that serious, at least on my end, which was probably where I got myself into trouble. And we're sort of fleshing this out via text message one night. The conflict of like, what is this? And are we going to move forward and whatever? And I'm kind of hesitating. And she said something that I still think about to this day, even though I think I've sort of gotten over the hump of it. But she told me, "You're going to die alone.
Whoa!
I hope we never see each other again."
My goodness. So maybe it was the same woman. Think about that.
Yeah. Could have
been. Older when you dated her, but
a generation and a half. Yeah, she was about 52 when I was text messaging her.
Yeah, there you go. You were 17. She was 52. It was unbelievable. No question about it.
You're going to die alone. I'm like, if there's ever a time to do some self-reflection, if someone says you're going to die alone, that's a good time to meditate on your dating history.
I'm sure you'll be fine. There'll at least be somebody.
I am now. I found my forever person, my loving wife. So
what's your name?
Jonna.
Jonna, very good.
Yeah,
I like it, man. Hey, look, Catherine, other than the fact that she stares at me like, what the hell's wrong with you on a daily basis? Pretty lucky guy, man. That's all I have.
It is. Yeah, but she sticks with you. She stares at you that way, and she sticks with you.
No question about it. Absolutely. The one thing she's gotten really good at is never listening to what I'm saying. I don't know how she always blocks out. She has no idea what the hell I just said.
There's just noise blending in with noise in the background.
Exactly right. Oh, really? Is that what you said? Okay, good. I got it now. Don't worry about it.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah. Ooh, what was it? What character was that?
Charlie. It's from Charlie Brown, right?
Charlie Brown. That's right. There you go. It was.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah. That family was amazing. I guess that house that he grew up in, Charles Schultz grew up in, is still there, and it still has the painting of the characters on the wall.
Wow. Does someone else live there, or is it now just a historical? Okay.
No, somebody else did buy. Well, that was about 10 years ago, so maybe I don't know what the deal is now, but they bought the house and lived in it.
Yeah.
I'd like to be the one to buy the house and then just paint over all.
It would be a great responsibility, like.
Yeah.
I saw Full House used to be one of my favorite sitcoms in the 90s with Bob Saget and John Stamos. And I think it was Dave Coulier or one of them posted a photo outside of the old, because there is a house that the outside of the house in San Francisco is there and someone lives there.
Yeah, right.
It should be a great responsibility to live in a famous house like that. The Home Alone house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Which is like a $5 million house, by the way.
Yeah, it's up for sale right now, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I believe it's up for sale.
It is.
Oh, is it up for sale for $5 million?
I saw that someone redid the basement has been completely renovated.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ's looking up how much it's on the market for, because I figured, a couple more appearances by you, you're good to go. Send them a check for $5.5 million, you're covered.
So,
what an irresponsible family, by the way, leaving their kid in New York City, leaving their kid at home.
Yes,
5.25 million.
5.25. There you go. And it's actually in Winnetka, Illinois. Is that where it is actually?
Yeah, 671 Lincoln Ave.
Lincoln Ave, there, 671. Oh, that is a nice neighborhood. I'm not kidding you. That's really
I can
nice.
assume.
Well, yeah, I suppose if the house is 5.25.
Minus.
What was your first hint there, Tom?
Yeah, what was the first hint? That it's a nice neighborhood. Yeah, no question. There are neighborhoods like that. There's no question about it, man. I just, like I said, we went out to, I won't even say what town it was in, but there's this place called Castle Ridge. And it's in a nice little small town, the very average houses. You go around the corner, it's like, holy God, there's about 20 mansions in a row.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Is the butler included in that $5 million price tag?
Yeah, well, maybe. You get Joe Pesci. That's what you get. You get the house and Joe Pesci.
and a couple, Joe Pesci and his buddy just riding around in a windowless van looking for an opportunity to rob your home.
That was a phenomenal movie.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Have you seen I think it was Netflix did like a Movies That Made Us, or maybe it was it's a documentary about it. Yep. And they filmed like the water scene where they flooded the basement. They built that in like the local high school basement, and like they kind of talked about like the big snow scene outside. There was no snow for their whole entire time filming, and then one day it just randomly started to snow, so they rushed everybody back to set to film. And so there's a lot of cool stories hidden in that the making of that movie.
Whatever happened to Macaulay Culkin? He just kind of I thought he'd be an actor forever.
Well, Kieran Culkin, his brother, is now like in the current day, I think much more. I think Macaulay still has the highest Q score in terms of do you know who Macaulay Culkin is? But
yeah, I'm sure that's
Kieran with Succession, he's been dominating.
What a prick he is on that show. Well, everybody on the show's a prick. It's a great show, though.
It is a great show.
Really good, but everybody's such an a-hole on that show. It's unbelievable. Oh, there's no way that I'm going to sell my company for only $55 billion. It's too low. Like, Jesus.
I love Cousin Greg just floating through for anyone who hasn't seen the show, definitely check out Succession. But Cousin Greg just like kind of floats his way into this incredible position.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's a great show. If you've not, there's only 4 seasons right now. They're going to do a 5th season,
I think it's done.
The 5th season is done.
No, I think like the show is done.
The show is done. Okay, because we're on season 4 now.
Yeah, it looks like it got canceled after season 4. Yep.
You know who one of the big producers was on that show? Do you know this?
I don't think so.
A very famous person was one of the producers on that show. Will Ferrell.
What?
Really?
Yeah. Will Ferrell is one of the producers on Succession. Like,
that's incredible.
Damn. So I looked it up. Will Ferrell, who's not a great actor and really is not funny, is worth $160 million.
He had a nice run. I feel like SNL has produced, there's like a pipeline of if you are one of the top SNL performers, Adam Sandler back in the day, Chris Farley. I mean, there's just a runway for you to rattle off 4, 5, 6 big time comedies and go make $100 million. John
Belushi, I was out in Martha's Vineyard last year, and there was his grave right there at Martha's Vineyard, man. And you look back and go, God, he died awfully young, I think, but that's just me. Yeah, that was in L.A., though. Didn't he die at what's the name of that hotel that everybody dies from drug addiction? I can't remember the name of it. Doesn't matter. And if I said it, I'd probably get sued, so never mind.
That'd be fun, though. Be a great way to start off a Monday here.
Just get sued.
Just a little lawsuit. Yeah.
Tom, we're suing you for $5.25 million. It has nothing to do with that house in Winnetka, Illinois. Has nothing to do with it. There you go. Oh, we taken up too much of your time, Buster Brown, but it's great to have you back.
How dare you? Yes.
How dare you, man. Phil, I don't know what to tell you. We got baseball right now, and they did win. They scored, they score like 7 runs in the 10th inning or something like that.
They saved all of their hits for the last extra inning of the road trip. So congratulations.
100% true what he just said, by the way. Didn't hit anything for the whole road trip till the last game in the 10th inning.
Embarrassing.
Welcome
back home, Twins. We'll see you guys on Friday.
Sounds great, Phil. Thank you. Phil Mackey, SKOR North, ladies and gentlemen. Take a break. Be right back. Chris Egert will join us right after this. Minnesota business owners pay too much in taxes. Well, you know that. You don't have to take my word for it. The Tax Foundation has just released its state business tax climate index. Minnesota's near the bottom, as the 45th worst tax climate in the United States. When you expand or relocate your business to Sioux Falls, you'll be basking in the second best tax climate in the nation. That's just one reason why no matter what size your business is, no matter what size of business you own, you can increase your profits in Sioux Falls. We've got the proof at SiouxFallsDevelopment.com. In Sioux Falls, our safe streets, award-winning schools, short commutes, vibrant, growing downtown, and pro-business attitude are all attractive reasons to make your move. And we've got a motivated workforce that's ready to help your business grow. Escape the high taxes of Minnesota by planning your expansion or relocation to Sioux Falls. 2024 is the time to make your move to Sioux Falls. Check out SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. In the morning, I've got to be right because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Evening Meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather, so you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
Let's take a second to talk about my bank, North American Bilski Company. Banking company. Think Bilski will change the name someday? NABC will be North American Bilski Company?
I don't know, but he should.
Bilski.
That's really good.
It is. I think it's a great name. Look, it is, yeah. Take a second to talk about my bank, North American Banking Company. Look, there's no shortage of banking options in the Twin Cities. You know that. If you're tired of being just a number to your big national bank, be sure to talk to my friends at North American Banking Company. They offer the same online and mobile banking options as other banks, but with the unparalleled service of a community bank. I also like being able to go to any of their 6 Twin Cities locations. They're in Roseville, 50th in France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, and Maple Grove. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. I'm looking at your face right now, Chris Egert, and you need to tell me. I got about 8 or 10 emergency notifications about a 4-year-old nonverbal boy. Please tell me they found him over there.
Yeah, they have not. They're the search efforts. It's a bunch of people showed up. We have got our reporter Kelsey Christensen who's out there.
Right.
Excelsior. It's on Excelsior Boulevard in Blake Road for reference for people in Hopkins. So it's in that area. There's an apartment complex there, and the little boy apparently wandered out at some point yesterday morning around 7:30.
Right.
4 years old, nonverbal, attracted to water.
Yep.
And
loves to go to water.
Minnehaha Creek runs quite close to there. I'm hoping for a miracle. And I know a lot of people have showed up to try to help search, and I know that people were out searching last night too. So hopefully they'll find him, and God, maybe crawled into a culvert or something like that kept him safe. So
because he was naked as well, right?
Or had I wasn't quite sure on that because one of the picture had him with some little like blue sweatpants on, but then one of the alerts I think did say, or he liked to be naked, or so. And I'm just like sitting here thinking about the bugs have been so bad, but I mean, bug bites can be healed. So I mean, hopefully something will shake loose on this. So
4 years old, just cuter than hell. Of course,
I know. It's
not a shock.
It's
just terrible. Oh.
You think about all the little kids and how many, how easy it is for them to slip away.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then if the kid, he's got some learning issues and he, it just how difficult that must be to try to wrangle him and, keep him around. And I don't know, hopefully something good will happen, or, there'll be a positive development in this. But
says, he frequented the Alice Smith Elementary Park area. Do they have a pond that I don't know where Alice Smith Elementary
I'm not sure where Alice Smith is.
No idea, but this has been breaking my heart for about 25 hours now, man, because you get those very loud alerts on your phone, and you're wearing one of those watches that comes up on your watch and your phone. And I'm like, oh no, you just think back to when your kids were that age. What the hell would you? Okay, very quickly, maybe to lighten the mood a little bit, because it's so damn heartbreaking. When Andy was about the same age, we had a bunch of people over, lived out in Dayton on a farm, just loved living out there, was great and all the rest of it. All of a sudden, Andy disappears. 4-year-old, can't find him, don't know where he is. There's the same situation. There was a pond on the property and the Crow River right behind the house. Well, about an acre away, so it wasn't that far. We're looking and everybody's looking around. Everybody's got, Catherine's down at the pond and I'm down at the river and everybody blah, blah, blah. He was asleep in his cozy coop.
Oh,
typical Andy move, 100%. So I'm hoping to God that this kid's in his cozy coop somewhere. And it's gonna break my heart, man. Little children like that, it just drives me nuts.
Yeah, I know. I to your point, I hope there's an outcome that fell asleep somewhere, hiding somewhere. I mean, hiding somewhere in the apartment building, like
maybe
who knows.
Yeah.
So.
I just wanted to bring that up first, and I know it's a heartbreaking story, but I was hoping maybe he was found overnight, but still nothing.
No, at last check, and like I said, we've got Kelsey out there, and she said a bunch of people are showing up to help to look for him, which is great. So good to see people rallying behind this family to hopefully help him out. So
I don't know how the hell you're ever going to sleep again. I mean, hopefully they will find him. Come on, find him today. That's all I'm saying.
Yep, I agree.
I'm sorry I led your report with a story, but that I was hoping.
No, that was the main thing we were covering this morning anyway.
Okay.
And we had our reporter out there. So, and then other than that, I was over the weekend, a second person died in that whole shootout thing that killed the police officer.
Oh yeah.
And so I think 3 people total now died if you include the suspect in that. And the police officer's funeral is going to be tomorrow. And I think I'm assuming everybody will carry it live. I know we're going to carry it live on Channel 5 too for people who want to watch that. But and then did you guys talk with Phil about all the Caitlin Clark Olympic team business?
No, we were busy talking about what a pain in the ass he is. No, that's not true. I just made that up. No, we didn't talk about that.
I don't know if you guys went down the rabbit hole on that this weekend. It was all over Twitter, and people were like, they're gonna die on the hill no matter what their position was on it. And I'm like, that it's so crazy how polarizing she's become, which is the dumbest thing because she's so wildly popular. Like, why does everything, to your point always, Tom, why does everything have to be a freaking fight or what,
Yes.
Like, and you're either this side or this side, and you can't be middle ground.
No, can't be middle ground, man. It means you're weak.
Like everybody who makes the argument that she should be on the Olympic team, other people are like, yeah, that's what they thought with Christian Laettner too, and they put him on the Olympic team, and they treat him like a towel boy, and that those are exact. And so people are like, yeah, it makes sense. Like she's great. She's a star. She's going to bring millions of viewers, but she's not quite there yet. So why set her up? Why put her in a position to fail? Like, I don't know. It was fun. It was entertaining for me this weekend, just watching people get so pissed off about it.
Well, I will tell you that the world's like that now, and Minnesota's really like that. If you got famous and you made a lot of money without their help, they hate you. You have to follow my advice and I have to help you or else it doesn't count. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, people love to go after the very successful if they got there without your help. They hate that.
I don't know. Is that unique to Minnesota? Or is that kind of I think that's kind of this weird cultural thing. Like people love you. then you get too big, and then they hate you, and then you fall, and then they're happy about it. But then if you have a comeback story, they love you again. So it's like, right? Think of like Tiger Woods. Or I don't know.
And speaking of Minnesota and things that are going to really make people mad, the Twins just 10 minutes ago dropped their City Connect uniforms.
Yeah.
I want everybody's immediate thoughts.
What's a City Connect?
I haven't seen it. They were just dropping it right when I was walking in.
It just says Twin Cities on it?
No, it's like an alternate. It's supposed to embrace like the city in some way. Like Boston's done it, Chicago's done it. A lot of teams have done it last year. Now the Twins were a part of the group that got theirs this year. So this is the Twins City Connect uniforms.
But they're not doing it.
They are. They're right on
They
the
are.
screen
Oh, you
right
mean
now.
by dropped? You mean they dropped them on the market?
Oh, it looks like the Seattle Mariners.
I was like, who do they think they are? The Milwaukee Brewers?
Or the Brewers. Yeah.
Those are hideous.
They're called the Ripple Effect jerseys.
That's a terrible uniform.
Yeah, you can ripple effect right back down into the closet.
Well, let's be honest. No matter what it is, any of the uniform things, it's got nothing to do with the actual baseball being played.
No,
it's all about selling some of the uniforms to the fan base.
Yeah.
I don't think, is anybody buying that?
No. And how about we save the money on printing all those uniforms and use it to put the games back on TV? We'll put the games on TV and just wear
I don't think it probably works quite like that, but your point is not lost on me, Devin.
But guys, what if they wear those and they never lose again?
Well, that's different.
Then they'll get the rally sausage, and then we'll win the
you didn't
World
think about
Series and
no,
whatever. like those Vikings, those white uniforms, they're cool, but all it is about selling freaking uniforms. All they're gonna they like want to sell 1 billion jerseys to a bunch of little kids, and what happens for the game, that's a tiny part of it.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. It's just a tiny part of it. Unfortunately, that's the situation. But I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm not wild about those white uniforms. It's just like you look like the milkman.
Yeah, somebody made fun. Well, they weren't making fun. Somebody referred to them as the University of St. Thomas Vikings. I thought it was funny because they definitely do have kind of a St. Thomas-y vibe.
There you go.
That was Byron Metcalf. I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter, but he's a sports guy for ESPN. He also writes a column for the Star Tribune. He's a really fun follow on Twitter. And he was one who was getting in all kinds of fights about the Caitlin Clark thing, which was funny.
Oh, God. Can't just let somebody be famous and, move ahead. Just get out of their way. Let them play, baby.
Well, he took a point. He took a point, which a lot of people, he was kind of like, I don't know if you guys follow Royce or anything on Twitter either, but Royce's always trolling people just to get a reaction, and he's so good at it. It's hilarious. But
one thing I've learned on Twitter, I've gotten one negative comment on Facebook so far. One. Yeah. Because I know they block some, so you don't ever see them and all the rest of it. But I've seen one, and you know who it was from? A salesperson at KQ. It's like, you do realize if I ever see you again, I'm going to kick your ass. You do.
Well, what's the point of that, right? Like,
because they just get a 1.2 share now, and somehow that's my fault too. It's like, Jesus, you dick. I couldn't believe it. It's like, you
have some freaking class, right? Like, come on.
You ever been in that building? Class, really? But seriously,
well, got to get going. It's 8:47. I gotta get out there and get my.
Would you do me a favor when you hop on and do say, "Hey, KQ employee, Tom's coming for you, man. He's coming."
Breaking news.
Breaking news. All right, Pally. Great report, I thought.
Bye, you guys. Have a good rest of your day.
Guten Tag. There you go. Channel 5. Doesn't that bother you? I mean, the one guy who's taking a shot at me is some douche I used to work with. What is that?
Right. You weren't upset when I was helping you make all that money selling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. We'll take a break. Be right back with some Italian guy. Can't remember his name, but he's Italian, isn't he?
We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Is he fake Italian or real Italian?
He's at least a quarter.
At least a quarter. Yep. All right, Tom Barnard here for Olivia Weight Control Centers. Ladies and gentlemen, now's the time to get a jump on summer. You could lose up to 20 pounds or more in your first 8 weeks the Livia way. When you join Livia, you'll receive a personalized doctor-recommended program tailored to your unique needs, goals, and lifestyle. Livia's amazing team of registered dietitians and nutritionists will guide you every step of the way. Join Livia today and get your first 8 weeks free. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Got on the scale this morning, and I dropped another couple of pounds. Looks like I can't remember exactly. I think last week it was, I don't know what the hell it was, but I'm down to, it's right around 2 pounds. I'm down to 234, so that's cool. I'm basically right on 20 pounds now for my goal. It's going really, really well. I love my walks are getting better because of the Livia program, because when you drop weight, your walks get better, man. Really working for me. That's all I got to say. I've lost 30 pounds in 7 weeks. So you could lose 20 in the first 8 weeks. I lost 30 in the first 7 weeks. So take that home with you. What do you think of that?
I like it.
No, you don't. You made that up. Anyway, join Livia today and get your first 8 weeks free. Visit livia.com. That's LIVEA.com, or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Livia is now offering GLP-1 medications. Quiet the food noise and see accelerated results by summer. Visit livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Start your weight loss journey now and get a jump on summer the Livia way.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Bob Sansevere Sports is brought to you by Bradshaw & Bryant Personal Injury Lawyers, seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw & Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. What's up, Pally?
Hey, Tevin, more than 75% eye tie, so you just watch yourself.
I said at least a quarter. So
yeah,
you're over.
Yeah,
you're 75.
Okay.
That's perfect. I was still
that
right.
was a denigration on your part.
A denigration.
I mean, you you just what are you? How much Italian are you?
At most a quarter, I'll say. At most a quarter.
So like 1-2%.
It depends on how much pasta I ate yesterday.
Right. Then, hey Tom, okay, give me the initial because I didn't think there were any salespeople left at KQ. Who could it have been? Was it a guy or a gal?
He was a guy.
All right.
And he's about this tall, tough guy on social media. One of those kind of guys.
A lot of them.
He's one of those ass kiss management people. He's one of those. Ugh.
Oh, he's a. Did you see what I wrote on Tom's Facebook type of guy? Is that what he's going around telling people?
No, yeah, whatever.
All right. Anyway.
No, it's just one of those situations where, once again, it's my fault. You dropped from the 35 share to a 1.2. Yeah, I would attack me for that. No question about it. Let's go to the bar, have another drink. But I swear to God, if I ever run into him, he ain't going to get away free on that one. Not going to happen. What if how do you think I look in handcuffs? What do you think? All right, let's do the sports report before I just go over there right now. It's not that far from here, by the way. I will tell you that. Anyway, go ahead, sir.
Well, your Twins break the 5-game losing streak, but they're 8.5 behind. 7 runs in the 10th inning. They couldn't spread those around the earlier games.
Exactly.
So it's going to be a miserable year. I mean, it's going to be like this. They're going to be incredibly streaky. Can you recall them being this streaky?
I don't think this streaky. No, it's pretty odd. I mean, it's either all there or there's nothing.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, maybe those uniforms, they'll win a game and then they'll keep them on and never lose again. Yeah. Now, did you guys talk about the whole Caitlin Clark and Natalie Darwitz thing? Because the Darwitz thing got sort of overshadowed by Caitlin Clark.
That's very true.
First of all, I think the people who made the decisions, they're moronic decisions. In the case of Caitlin Clark, they're going to win the gold. It doesn't matter, because it's the best team in the world. Why not take advantage of all the attention people will put on the Olympic team? Without her on it, I don't care. Many people don't care. Their argument will be, well, we had to put the best player. She's one of the best players in the world. And Diana Taurasi, 6th Olympics, she's 42. Make her an assistant coach if you want to take her and have her part of the what's going on.
There you go. I like it.
And she still may make it because somebody may get hurt. But the problem is the coach it's Cheryl Reeve, the head coach. She was involved in this. She's a coach of the Lynx. But she doesn't care about PR for the team. She just wants to, quite honestly, complain that women don't get enough attention and that, and she believes she wants to win. And I give her credit for wanting to win, but you can't say we don't get enough attention when you have it sitting there ready to be given to you, and then you don't put on the player who will bring you the attention. Did you know that they played the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark's team, not a good team, but she's on it, played the Washington Mystics, a team that was winless. That game outdrew game 1 of the NBA Finals in attendance. Over 20,000 went to the Fever game to see Clark against a horrible team, and it was 19,000 and change that went to the NBA Finals game 1. I mean, when she's involved, people go. And then Darwitz, I mean, she built this team that won this PWHL, yeah, whatever.
The Walter Cup.
She built the team. She was the GM. She helped get them off the ground, and then they just dump her because it's run by the league, and they're stupid people.
That's the one that really is confusing because it's the league. No, there's no single ownership over any of the teams in the PWHL. So that came directly from the top. So there's a lot of murky water of what happened or what's going on behind the scenes there that has like the league saying your GM that just won you the league.
Right.
She's got to go.
Last I checked, that's the goal.
Yeah.
She accomplished said goal.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're canned.
Yeah, well, and here's the problem, too, because they don't realize how iconic Natalie Darwitz is. And not just because she's iconic. She helped them and built the team. They have apparently she didn't get along with the coach. I'd never heard of the coach. Who's the coach?
And the thing about the coaching is the original coach who was hired for the job, like quit due to personal reasons, like a week before the start of the season. The other coach that came in, frankly, you had a pretty well set bed. The bed was made for you.
Right.
You had the first overall pick. They chose Taylor Heisey. Their next 2 picks were Nicole Hensley, who was like one of the best goalies in the league, paired with Maddie Rooney, who they signed in free agency. And then Grace Zumwinkle was their 3rd pick.
Wait. Who was the GM of the team that made those picks? Oh, yeah, Natalie Darwitz.
The one that's out of a job right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Tom, I'm gonna borrow a word you've used over the years. What a bunch of moronic hunyucks.
Hunyucks, man. They are moronic hunyucks. There's no question about that. I don't even know where hunyucks came from, but I do like hunyuck. Hey, ya hunyuck.
You just came up with it? Or is it like some sort of...
I remember you telling me that you heard it in a movie once. I can't remember what movie, though.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it wasn't a hey, ya hunyuck.
What?
It's got to be. Maybe it's like anti-Hungarian or something. I don't know. Yuck.
That's what comes up here. It says I'm not even going to butcher that word, but it's essentially an ethnic slur of Polak or something.
It's Polish.
Yeah.
Or Hungarians, both.
Yeah, it's a slur for Hungarians.
It's an ethnic slur. So he slurs Polish people with Polacks.
Can I tell my one quick story? I worked with a guy that was sent over from Poland, or he moved over from Poland, so he spoke a little English. He spoke some English, not great. He goes to the doctor, and he comes back, and he goes, Tommy, I got to tell you something. And I know that's a horrible Polish accent, but that's all I got.
Pierogi.
He actually said, Tom, during my exam, he tells me a great compliment. He says I am cute alcoholic. I think he said acute, not cute. He goes, yes, acute alcoholic. No, acute is one word. Oh, it is? He had no idea. He just called him a booze hound. He thought it was a compliment.
Come, let's go celebrate. Have a drink.
Yeah, let's go have a drink. I will never forget that as long as I am cute alcoholic. Oh, okay, good. Glad to hear it.
That's funny.
It is indeed. So what else is happening? Oh, God, we got to go, man. You're already at top of the hour for you.
You were gone forever with the with what's his puss?
Oh, Chris Egert?
with Egert.
And now, time for What's His Puss from Channel 5 News.
And he wasted all that time with Tevin trying to guess how much Italian I got in me.
A quarter. That was it. All right, Sandy, we'll talk to you again on Friday.
I live for that moment. We'll see you later.
Thanks, sir. Bob Sansevere Sports brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That's MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. We'll take a quick break. Be right back. DJ Carl Craig promoting feature Doc Desire, the Carl Craig Story. It's a feature doc, yes, called Desire, the Carl Craig Story, set for world premiere at Tribeca Film Festival. When is that? Did that start this weekend or is it next weekend? Or does anybody know?
I believe it's this weekend.
It is coming up. This is coming up weekend.
Yes.
Okay, good. Carl Craig joins us right after this. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb, dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
K&L Surplus and Ammo in Lina Lakes is my choice for firearms and ammunition. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business and is great at getting you into the right firearm for your needs. We've talked about that before. You need the right firearm. Jim's a guy who can get it done for you. K&L Surplus and Ammo now carries Benelli shotguns that offer enhanced performance, amazing reliability for uses ranging from waterfowl hunting to skeet shooting and more. I highly encourage you to stop in, talk with Jim and the rest of the K&L Surplus crew. Between their superior knowledge of firearms, friendly customer service, overall stock, and fair pricing, I can't imagine a better location to purchase your next firearm. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lina Lakes, open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone at 763-757-2614, or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Carl Craig, ready to go?
Sure is.
Ladies and gentlemen, feature doc Desire, the Carl Craig story, set for world premiere at Tribeca Film Festival. Desire, the Carl Craig story, is an intimate portrait of legendary techno producer, DJ, and record label founder Carl Craig, and an ode to his beloved city, Detroit. Carl, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Marvelous. I got to mention up front, because I'm very proud of this. I'm one of the last white men ever to go into the Top Hat Bar in Detroit. I love that place.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, is that right? And did you have your guns and ammo from your?
Now, Carl, this is a totally upbeat story. No, actually, no one bothered me. They were just kind of looking at me like, okay, well, you do what you do, and then just don't stay too long. I think maybe that was the whole deal.
No, in Detroit, we're really nice. We we definitely have people from the outside and bring them inside.
No question about it. So how did it all start? Do you remember how old you were when you kind of said, this is what I'm going to do, it's what I want to do, and I'm doing it?
I remember telling my mother going to school I wanted to be a DJ. And back then, DJing was doing what you do, to be on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that it was even going to be possible to travel around the world and play music in all points of this global this big marble that we're on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's beautiful that I could even say that, even think that back in the day, and then it comes into fruition.
No question. I got to mention what Carl's talking about. He's performed to jazz enthusiasts at the Montreux Jazz Festival, adapted for classical auditoriums around the world, including Carnegie Hall. I mean, these aren't just joints you're talking about. These are big time operations. You've achieved quite a bit, sir. No question.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate.
It's nice to hear that. I got to be honest with you, Carl. It's nice to hear you say, I've been very fortunate. I got lucky and blah, blah, blah. A lot of people now don't really take that attitude. So it's nice to hear from such a successful person that you're grateful for where you are.
I'm happy because it didn't happen too fast.
Mm-hmm.
It was a grower. I didn't have any big hits like Prince did back in the day. My career in history has been something that has grown over these 30 years of being in the business. And, I like it that way. I like that I didn't have to, try to be as big as Justin Bieber, I like that. I like that, when I got into DJing, that there wasn't any superstar DJs. There wasn't, the concept of Tiesto and Diplo and Skrillex. I like that when I walked into this. I played small clubs, and I played big clubs, and I played festivals, and I did all of these really great things, all these character building gigs, and that's important. So to do Carnegie, to do festivals, to do the Barbican in London, to do Royal Albert Hall in London.
God.
I mean, this is all something that if I would have done it at 19, then by 30 years in the business, I'd be a recovering alcoholic about 10 times.
Yeah, we got a lot in common, Carl. I just realized that you performed and I sat in the seats at all of those places you brought up.
Oh, word up.
And that's one of my favorite things. I love Word Up. I always have. It's a good song, as a matter of fact. No question about it. But was there one inspiration for you? Was there one person out there you said, man, that's what I want to do. I want to do it in a different way, and talking about, genre defying techno music in your descriptor here, inspired by a wide range of sounds. That makes sense. But was there one that really stood out to you?
Because you're from Minneapolis, right?
Yes, sir.
Man, Prince.
Yeah, I understand.
That was the killer. Prince was huge in Detroit. Absolutely huge.
Yeah, he was. No question. I will give you my entire conversation I had with Prince. I was at a friend's house and Prince was there. And this is the entire conversation. I walked by him. I looked at him. Before I could say anything, he said, "Hi." So that was the whole conversation, Carl. That was the whole deal.
Well, I was so upset when Prince passed on because that's the only guy that I wanted to pick up girls with.
Well, you're looking pretty good in that beret you're wearing.
The girls that he's gonna have is just gonna be incredible. That's the door will open wide open to just have Vanity. I love Vanity. I wanted to marry Vanity so bad.
And anything?
Well, I did. No, I never met Prince. I wish I could have. That would have been the best time of my life.
He was a very, very shy person. I know that. I did run into him a couple of times, really never talked to him, just saying hello and that kind of thing. But he was an interesting character, no question about it. And by the way, I think was he like 5'4", something like that?
Yeah, he wasn't very big.
He's about 5'4", but he was one hell of a basketball player because he used to play basketball out there too. He was really pretty good.
Yes. I've read stories. I've heard stories. It's great.
No question about it. Now I grew up, I'm 72 years old now. So I grew up in an era where R&B was a very, very big deal. There's no question about that. The Beatles were there, but the R&B people, I always tell people that Marvin Gaye's What's Going On album got me through my 16th year on this earth because I was like, oh my God. Grew up in a pretty rough neighborhood, very, very poor people and all the rest of it. So I used to listen to What's Going On by Marvin Gaye every damn day because it cheered me up. Carl, just do you ever think of what you're doing for people to make their lives better?
Sometimes, but that's my main goal is to first satisfy my demons.
Okay. All right.
When I make music that, it's supposed to sound good for me. I don't try to make music to feed a market. And that's what Motown was doing. So what's going on, as you probably know, almost didn't get released.
Right.
At least that's the label, is that it almost didn't get released because, it went against the grain of what Motown, what the record label was all about. And that's the thing. For me is that by having my own label, I don't have to worry about that.
Right.
I don't have to worry about, feeding an A&R guy or the stock, the chairman of the board or the stock people or whatever. It's like I make the music, and if I think it's not great, it's not leaving my studio. And once it does come out, I hope that it does say a lot and do a lot for the people who listen to it.
People who converse the way you do and talk about things the way you do, were you inspired by your mother, your father, both? I mean, you look back at that and go, without them, I maybe wouldn't have been able to do this.
Yeah. I mean, my mom and dad are great. They're, they're in their 80s now and stuff. And, my dad, I talk to him a lot.
Wonderful.
My mother definitely is the person. I was just watching that movie about Michael Jordan called Air, and it says if you want to get to Michael Jordan, you got to go through his mom.
Yep.
And his mom was the one who made sure that he got the money per shoe sold. And my mother is just like that. She's that kind of person that will think outside of, hey, you know what, you're going to be famous, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. She's thinking down the line, like, okay, you know what's going to happen when you retire? And she's a major part of the reason why I do things DIY.
It's a wonderful story, Carl. And are you coming to town anytime soon to Minneapolis, St. Paul?
I hope so.
I hope so too, because then you got to come in studio. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, let's do it. And then I can go by and see Paisley Park too. Got to do it.
No problem at all. DJ Carl Craig. Carl, really nice talking to you. You're very inspiring and you have nothing but positive things to say. I love that, Carl.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Have a good day,
all
sir.
Right.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
Why aren't all successful people like that?
Yeah, and for him, like, I mean, it's kind of hard to be negative when you're a famous house music DJ. Like, it's just all good vibes and things like that. So it's nice that that's kind of how he carries himself in the real world as well.
What a good guy. Very smart. You can tell he's a very smart guy. You could also tell that he did pay attention to his mother, father, or both. You can tell that in people. You guys are probably not old enough to be able to do that yet. Maybe you can, but
he seems like he, feet on the ground. Like he doesn't, he kind of is aware of his surroundings. Tevin, I know you do a lot of DJing and whatnot. Are you familiar with his work? Is this guy, would you put him on like, the upper echelon of DJs?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say yes just because he's just on the show, but no, he's like one of those, not on my personal Mount Rushmore, but he is definitely, especially in Detroit, is one of the guys that's well known as being kind of the pioneer for the Detroit techno movement.
Well, but the problem you have is your Mount Rushmore. AJ and I are already on it. There's no room. So
we know how to spin the wheels of steel. Yeah. Tom and I are about as good as they go.
There you go. Can you imagine driving through a town, you look up and there's a mountain with your face on it? It's like, what?
My ego would be absolutely astronomical.
That thing has been controversial from day one. It's just amazing.
The Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
I think it's really overrated.
Do you really?
I mean, it's cool looking. Like, it's amazing that they did that with Dynamite. What's the controversy behind it?
Who they put up on there. They wanted different people on there, whatever. Who knows? Yeah. And by the way, you didn't like the Mount Rushmore because you like the tilted house. You stayed there all day, didn't you?
Similar to the Grand Canyon. Like, I get it. I can see a picture of it, and like, there's nothing to experience. I'm gonna walk up, look at it from like a mile away, and like, okay, I'm in South Dakota still.
Right. And like as a kid, we did the whole like Black Hills, go see Mount Rushmore, Badlands, kind of Dakota vacation. And I remember seeing Mount Rushmore and just being like, okay. Like I thought it was gonna be much bigger than it was because you're so far away. And I was like, I wanted to go like touch the statues. Like, I wanted to go out there.
You wanted to pick George Washington's nose.
Yeah. There's a big, like, I don't know if it's auditorium size, but there's a gigantic room behind all those heads, you know.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a kind of a conspiracy documentary type thing that's on Netflix where there's like supposedly like, hidden rooms, and that's where, super secret meetings happen. And
I think you're just talking about the plot of National Treasure 2.
Yeah, it sounds like the Declaration of Independence is back there.
All right, we have to take a break. Be right back, though, ladies and gentlemen. Kristen Burt will join us right after this. I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. And in the morning, I've got to be right because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather, so you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard podcast, and I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. There she is. I thought you were going home.
Going home where?
I thought you told us last Friday you were going back home.
She is home.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like the closet you're usually in.
This is my studio.
Is that a bottle of perfume behind you? What is it, about 5 gallons? What is that?
I think we've discussed this. This is my jar of shells.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You have a jar of shells. I forgot all about that. No question.
Yeah, no, this is my house. I was here on Friday. You saw me in the studio.
Yeah, I did. That's true.
Last Wednesday, I was at a hotel room.
The hotel room on Wednesday. There you go.
Yeah, all my fancy background. Because, and some of your listeners actually guessed it, because I announced that I am now working with KPBS, and they were like, is that the job that you couldn't talk about? And then you got it. And I was like, yes.
What are you doing at KPBS?
I'm going to be, thank you. I'm going to be one of their pledge drive hosts over the next year and beyond. So I'm looking forward to it and working with them. But that took 6 months. My screen test was in December. I did a second one in maybe March. And then I had to fill out 1 million background checks and I passed.
That's good. So you're going to be annoying like everybody else on public television?
Yes. That is my goal, to be as annoying as possible.
Yes. I'm going to be very annoying. There's no question. I got to run something by, and I can't remember the exact name, but which word comes first. But the Auschwitz tattooist. Have you seen this show?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my God, is it good? But it's really hard to watch. I mean, people being massacred for no reason, beaten, treated like dirt. It's a true story. But Harvey Keitel is incredible in it. Really good.
He's an incredible actor. That's on Peacock. Is that correct?
Or I think that's right. I'm not sure.
I know I talked about it when it came out. So I was
yeah, you did. Yep.
Yeah. But I haven't watched the full series. So it's, World War II, the concentration camps, they are really hard to watch. It's important to watch things on it, whether it's a documentary or whether it's a series, but it's hard. It's not light, breezy viewing.
No, it's very, very difficult to watch this show. There's no doubt about that. But it brought back some memories for me, because when I was a little boy, people's grandparents came home, mom and dad came home, and they had tattoos on their arms. It was unbelievable. Whether they went to the concentration camp and then the family moved to America because they were forced out or whatever the situation. But there were a number of people on Plymouth Avenue that had tattooed arms. I will never forget that.
Scary. I went when I was in Germany, I went to Dachau, and that whole day, the heaviness, the darkness that happened there, just the sadness, it carries with you. And it's one of those things, seeing it with your own eyes, though, if you ever have the opportunity to do it, because you need to understand what that experience was like. It was brutal. Even going as a visitor, can you imagine living through that? A whole different story.
Well, let's not forget, though, there's some Hunyucks in America think it never happened.
Yeah. That's
what
I was like. Did anyone sit through American history? I mean, I should say world history. World history. Yeah. Excuse me. But it's like, are you paying attention? And why would you think it didn't happen? That's what I don't understand.
Well, that's exactly right. Why do you want to think it didn't happen? It makes no sense to me.
We've heard the experience of survivors and the atrocities, and Hitler existed. Hitler helped create this madness.
Yeah, there's no question about it. But yes, I won't carry on about it. But it is, I've only seen one episode, and I get to watch another episode of Kingstown now, the Mayor of Kingstown, because it came out yesterday.
Sunday nights.
I'm on fire, man.
Sunday night.
Things are good.
Did anyone watch Hitman over the weekend? Because that was like, you did.
I did. Yes.
All right. I want to ask you this question then, because this is what everyone is sort of touting, that Glenn Powell is like the new Hollywood movie star. Do you agree with that or not?
I think so. He's been around for a while, so I feel like this is a long time coming. Like I remember seeing him in like Spy Kids 3D when I was a little kid. So he's just always kind of been there. Yeah, 2 years ago, actually. So,
there you go.
No, I did that press junket for Spy Kids, so I was like, it was a while ago. No offense, but I did it too.
There you go.
It seems like I always feel like I relate it to The Rock, because The Rock and even Kevin Hart, they had that stint of they were in everything for what felt like 2 straight years. It was everything starring Kevin Hart, featuring The Rock. Then it was Timothy Chalamet, I think, for a while, or Tom Holland. Take your pick of which curly-headed guy you want there. And then now I think Glenn Powell is, after Top Gun Maverick, he kind of has stepped into more of a anyone but you is massive.
Yeah, leading man role for sure.
He's kind of like that new star. So I mean, it's gonna pass, but for the meantime, I think he's fine. I think he's good. He's charming.
Well, that's the thing. You just said it. It's going to pass. And see, he's trying to model his career after Tom Cruise. I mean, he obviously worked with him in Top Gun, but he's talked about that, saying, I've sat down with Tom and said, what do I need to do to reach your A-level status? But I don't feel like Glenn Powell has the staying power of a Tom Cruise. I don't really feel anyone has that staying power anymore.
Yeah, you might be right about that. I see. I have such trouble seeing Tom Cruise as like the tough guy role or the investigator or whatever. I stood next to him once, about belt high.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding you. He is tiny.
Tiny.
He's
one with lifts in his shoes for sure.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. But yeah, he's the guy. Was it from that original scene where he came sliding out doing that dance? What movie was that?
Risky Business.
Risky Business.
Risky Business. There you go. That's where it all started, didn't it? I think.
Well, he'd done a few other movies, but that was his big breakout role.
Yeah.
The one that just everyone was like, who is this guy?
Right.
And one of the best books to actually read is Rob Lowe's memoir. He talks about being on set on The Outsiders with Tom Cruise, because all these guys were up and coming at the time, and everyone wanted to be in Francis Ford Coppola's movie. It was like they did auditions for ages. And so when Francis Ford Coppola finally came together and like grabbed this group of guys, they were filming down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the guys, they were all like drinking, doing drugs when they were off the set. And there's Tom Cruise, like calling his agent saying, I don't want to share a room with these guys. Why don't I have my own hotel room? Got the upgrade for his hotel room, would study lines, was auditioning for other things. Like he had his eye on the prize beyond this movie. So really interesting. Like he was in his, early 20s. He might've been 20, 21 at best. And he already knew he wanted to be a movie star.
Is he a really smart guy? Seems like it.
I think he's smart. I think he's calculating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think that Scientology, because he's the number 2 guy in Scientology, I think that they've helped craft his image, especially in an era when we weren't paying attention to what Scientology really was. It's harder for him to sustain it now. But I think like in the 80s and 90s, they were able to also put the muscle behind his stardom.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. He's had a hell of a career, no doubt about it. No question.
We're all quiet. What happened?
No,
everyone just take a nap.
I'm just thinking about, well, when you have somebody that big, you keep thinking about, oh, man, he got there. He's a handsome guy. He's got talent, no question about that, and all the rest of it. But the Scientology thing would have bothered me, but that all happened later, didn't it?
It actually started fairly early in his career. He married actress Mimi Rogers, who at the time was a Scientologist. She has left the church, and she's the one who brought him in. And then that's where he really became involved. He started to pull away when he was married to Nicole Kidman, and David Miscavige, who is the head, allegedly was like, we can't have this. And they allegedly created a campaign to lure Tom Cruise back in and kind of force the divorce between Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise, which has been documented by plenty of members who have left the church at this point, saying, yeah, we worked on an entire campaign to break up the two of them.
Why would you want to join a group that did that to you? That makes no sense.
We've been talking about cults a lot here on the show, and it really is baffling. I mean,
it's a lot of cults.
It's a lot of cults, but it's a lot of people who are open or seeking guidance of something, and someone can just come in at that right angle and just tell you ideas, tell you things that you start to believe. I mean, it's a form of abuse.
Is it always a lack of family with these people? They don't have a family to turn to, so they kind of think they have one in the church now or something?
I don't think that's true necessarily, because the amount of Scientology, for instance, not saying anything about Scientology bad, that I don't want to target them back.
Disparage the cult. No.
But I've seen a lot of like stuff about people in families leave to go and do Scientology, and then their family's like, we have not been able to talk to them for 3 years. We have not had any contact. We just want our son back. We just want our daughter back, and we haven't been able to call her in a while.
Same thing with Dancing for the Devil. The Wilking family has been trying to get their daughter out. They can't get her out.
God, that's so sad. Let's stop talking about this. It makes me want to puke.
So sad. I just want to tell AJ that I spent my Saturday afternoon with Parvati Shallow from Survivor.
Oh God, he's falling apart. Jesus.
Oh my God. Tell me everything.
On Saturday, I went to the Grove. They were doing an FYC. If you don't know what that is, it's for your consideration for the Emmys, because they were doing an event for Traitors season 2. They want to obviously get an Emmy nomination for Best Reality Show. So she was there along with Kate Chastain and Trishelle Cantanella. And so I was interviewing all of them. And they had us like riding around a trolley at the Grove. I don't know if anyone's ever been to the Grove. You'll know what I'm talking about, which is like the most touristy thing ever. And when we got to interview them there, but Parvati was there with her daughter and her partner, and she's got her eyes on her next reality show. She really wants to do Dancing with the Stars.
That might make me watch Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, maybe. We'll be talking about it all fall if she does make it. So
there you have it. All right. What else is happening? Anything good?
Anything good? Well, here's the other thing that I was just noticing. George Lopez, another person who was getting heckled over the weekend. We're seeing the audiences turn on comedians quite a bit. George Lopez left after about 30 minutes of his show, but this has happened to Pete Davidson recently. And it's becoming a trend where audiences are just disrupting their entire set. And they just are like, I can't do my job. And they leave the stage, and then everyone turns against them, even though the audience was the one who was heckling them.
See, I could not sit in an audience and listen to somebody heckling the comedian on stage. I couldn't just sit there and take that. Look, I paid to get in here. Why don't you shut up and let me watch the show? Right?
I feel like a big thing that's wrong with that, though, is like with TikTok, a lot of these comedians have been putting their crowd work stuff on there, like, like their interactions.
Oh, that's not good.
Because they don't want to put their, if you put a joke online, somebody can just watch them and be like, okay, I don't need to go see the show. I want, you want to save the good stuff for the people that are there live. But I think everybody just feels like it's so accustomed now to, I can just have a conversation with the stand-up comedian in the middle of their show.
Yeah, social media has really ruined the comedy club experience, because like you're saying, they've created this world where you have to post so much on social media that is impossible just to organically write funny material to post 10 times a day to make sure you grease the algorithm. And so now people are trained to, well, I can go to this show, I'm going to sit in the front, I'm going to say something to the comedian, and I get to be famous on TikTok too, because the video will show my face. And now essentially you just have a big content creating where everybody wants to go talk to comedians and they don't get to do their job.
Can we blame Matt Rife for this?
Please. I would love to.
Oh, wow.
And the other thing to remember, not all comedians do crowd work. For some of them, that is not their thing. I don't really think that's George Lopez's thing. He's out there to do his set, and away he goes. If you go to a Matt Rife show, okay, that's one thing. But a lot of these other comedians, that's not how they're built. There are different types of comedy sets.
Yeah, and a lot of the crowd work that they do, it's still scripted. Like none of it's organic. They look for the one person in the crowd that matches what joke they want to say.
Oh, yeah.
And like, okay, I'm going to just talk to this guy. And so it's not this like just free for all that social media makes it look like.
Yeah. Things are planned, just like reality shows.
Yeah.
We had Jeff Gerbino on the family show last week. You know Jeff Gerbino, don't you, Kristen?
I saw the social media post too.
Oh, you did see it on there. But it was great because he sat right where Tevin is right now and started talking about the fact that members of his family were in the mafia. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm not going to heckle you ever again.
Right.
Then
You're going to laugh at this joke, or I'm going to put your body somewhere where they're never going to find you.
that was an interesting.
You don't want to swim with the fishes.
No, you do not want to swim with the fishes. No question about it. All right. Any closing news?
Will Smith had a good weekend. I said, we got to watch out for this to see. Yeah, 56 million, which I thought was good. He also did the classic, like, I'm going to surprise an audience and show up at a screening. And he did that over the weekend. But honestly, that just generates goodwill toward him. And I feel like this is probably the start of his comeback. I was curious to see how it would react. We're not doing $100 million weekends anymore at the box office. So 56 million, honestly, in this climate where the box office receipts are 26% down over last year, 56 million is solid.
Yeah, with that movie, but they've been doing obviously a lot of media tours and stuff like that. And Martin Lawrence hasn't looked great in a lot of them. Like, I know he had a stroke a while ago. Is there something going on that you know about with either his health or anything issues with Martin Lawrence?
I was asked that on another segment last week too. And I said, he doesn't look his best. Especially the way we were kind of used to seeing him. He hasn't come forward talking about like what he might be going through, but it's a big topic on social media, just saying like, why does he look like that? So it's one of those things, like maybe he just doesn't want to talk about it. Maybe there are some residual effects from his stroke, but he might be taking sort of the Jamie Foxx approach, like not feeling well, not going to tell you about it.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Burt, another brilliant report.
Thank you so much. Happy Monday, everyone.
Happy Monday. But we'll talk to you on Happy Monday. What's Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday.
Oh yeah, come on, AJ.
Is it carne asada tacos? So I can say carne.
You can have any taco you want.
Works for me. I love tacos.
I do too.
All right, Pally. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Shows I do too. I like that. Kristen Burt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. That's going to do it for the show today. Back in 15 minutes with the family.